Welcome to AI Dispatch, your channel for the latest AI videos on YouTube. If you don't want to miss these updates, please like, subscribe, and share. The Latin Space podcast features Jonas Nelle from Cursor's engineering team discussing cloud agents. His vision centers on 3 inversions. Code reviews will become video screenings, AI will operate as a 3-day asynchronous employee, and developers will pay 5-figure monthly compute bills. These aren't speculative predictions. They represent the infrastructure Cursor is actively deploying. Understanding this architecture requires first examining the technical leader driving its development. Jonas Nelle leads product and engineering for Cursor, the AI-powered coding platform. His team builds cloud agents capable of autonomously writing, testing, and delivering production-ready software. His technical decisions are shaping how developers will interact with autonomous systems, making his perspective essential for understanding this transition. Imagine a development workflow where your monthly compute bill exceeds $10,000 while you simultaneously lose the ability to directly edit files. This combination sounds financially reckless and operationally absurd. The Cursor team isn't proposing this as a thought experiment. They are constructing the technical foundation that makes it operational reality. To demonstrate the capability level their agents have reached, Jonas shared a recent internal experience that borders on the surreal. He requested an improved error message for saving secrets. The agent autonomously opened DevTools, programmatically pasted 5,000 characters, and verified the new message without receiving any custom test instructions. That degree of autonomous operation underpins their first structural reversal. Start with a practice embedded in every software team's workflow, the mandatory code review. Industry consensus holds that quality control demands reading the code. You examine diffs line by line to identify errors. Cursor's team argues this ritual has become a bottleneck that actively slows quality assurance in the age of agents. Their proposed alternative contradicts established practice. Stop reading code and start watching movies. Their cloud agents don't merely write code. They execute it on virtual machines. When an agent fixes a bug or implements a feature, it records a 20-second video showing the software actually functioning, clicking buttons, triggering hover states, demonstrating the fix in action. Their reasoning. Scanning 4 separate 700 line code diffs exhausts cognitive capacity and invites error, while watching 4 20-second videos of the feature working allows instant judgment of which agent succeeded. They are converting code review into visual media critique, asserting that a video of working software constitutes a higher fidelity artifact than the syntax that produced it. Jonas provided concrete evidence. This isn't theoretical. It reflects their team's daily operations. He described a cloud agent run he personally initiated, explaining how it worked for 30 minutes to write an end-to-end test a change, returning a pull request complete with a demo video ready for review. This hands-off approach, where the human waits for the finished product, connects directly to a radical engineering reversal regarding AI interaction patterns. Standard practice treats AI as a chatbot, a conversational partner that responds within seconds. If it takes too long, we disengage. Cursor's team is inverting this assumption through what they call grind mode. They propose we stop treating AI as a chat companion and start treating it as an asynchronous employee. Their workflow involves assigning an agent a task and explicitly instructing it, don't return for 3 days. This violates the instant gratification loop of modern LLMs. The engineering reality shows that for complex tasks, an agent needs to plan, execute, fail, debug, and retry thousands of times. They discovered humans are the bottleneck because we interrupt the model prematurely. By shifting to a fire and forget model where an agent works for 72 hours straight, they are redefining the unit of AI work from a prompt response to a completed project. During the conversation, the host inquired about the origin of this radical grind mode concept. Jonas explained that Cursor's long-running grind until done mode emerged directly from their internal experiments, building an agent-driven browser and operating system where they recognized complex tasks required more uninterrupted time. This need for long-running autonomous work naturally demands a new architectural approach. Shift focus to the infrastructure and physics of this intelligence. A widespread assumption in the AI industry holds that the Holy Grail is a faster model. We want water flowing through the pipe at supersonic speeds. Cursor's team suggests this represents a linear projection that misses the fundamental point. They argue the critical unlock isn't speed, it's the width of the pipe. They propose the future isn't a single super-intelligent genius coding instantly, but a swarm of parallel agents. Their internal experiments demonstrated that running multiple models from different providers, mixing Claude, GPT-4, and others, creates synergistic output that outperforms any single smartest model. They call this a council approach. It contradicts the winner-take-all mentality where we assume one model will dominate. Instead, they view intelligence as a throughput problem. If you can spin up 100 concurrent agents to explore a code base simultaneously, the individual speed of one model becomes irrelevant compared to the massive parallel throughput of the swarm. Regarding massive parallel throughput, Jonas shared a concrete example illustrating the real-world consequences of this swarm approach. He recounted recently breaking their own GitHub actions because so many cloud agents were pushing code in parallel that their continuous integration and deployment pipeline was completely overwhelmed. That consumption level high enough to break existing infrastructure leads to a startling economic realization that violates the technology gets cheaper assumption. We expect technology to drive costs down. Moore's law makes compute effectively free. Cursor's team predicts the exact opposite for AI-assisted development. They invoke Jevons paradox. As the efficiency of AI coding increases, our consumption of it will explode to levels that seem financially irresponsible today. They explicitly state we should prepare for individual developers to rack up inference bills of thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars per month. This sounds like a business failure, but they argue it represents the ultimate leverage. If spending $10,000 monthly on compute allows one engineer to do the work of 10, that massive bill is actually a bargain. They are redefining efficiency not as saving money on tokens, but as maximizing the sheer volume of output per human, regardless of raw cost. At this juncture, the host reflected on how distant this vision is from the AI tools of just a year ago, leading to a moment of levity. They laughed about how the original Cursor tab key, once the flagship feature for code completion, is rapidly becoming a museum piece as their own developers now favor agents that take over much larger units of work. This obsolescence of old tools is a deliberate part of their strategy. Which brings us to the final, and perhaps most jarring, structural reversal. Address the transformation concerning the developer's actual role. A deeply held belief exists that a developer's home is their IDE. The text editor is sacred ground. Cursor's team is actively dismantling this. They observe that Slack is effectively becoming the new IDE in their workflow. Threads in Slack launch cloud agents, debug issues, and tag humans only when necessary. The actual development happens in the conversation about the code, not the typing of it. To enforce this paradigm shift, they revealed they intentionally removed the file editor from their web interface. This is a jaw-dropping design decision. A code editor company removing the ability to edit code. Their logic is that if they give you a text editor, you will fall back into the old habit of hand coding. By removing the feature, they force users to delegate the task to the agent. Jonas shared a remarkable detail behind this decision that reveals the extent of their commitment. He explained that the team intentionally unshipped not just a file editor, but also a native browser and a files app within Cursor Web, all to encourage users to delegate more to agents and keep the user interface ruthlessly minimal. They are not merely building tools. They are behaviorally engineering humans to let go of the steering wheel. They believe the hand coder is becoming an obsolete species, and they are designing their interface to accelerate that extinction. According to their timeline, by the end of this year, the volume of code generated by these autonomous cloud agents will surpass that of local human-assisted agents by a factor of 2. When we look back at this interview then, the answer of whether the human developer is still the pilot or just the passenger will be clear. If you're interested in the video featured in this episode, click the link below to watch the original.